धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष महोदय। ये हमने आर्ग्यू किया कि ये फाइनेंशियल बिल की कैटेगरी में आ सकता था। सरकार की तरफ से जवाब आया और आपने उसका पूरा आपने अपनी तरफ से रूलिंग दी और हम पे वो रूलिंग बाध्य है, हम उसको स्वीकार करते हैं। और इस चर्चा में भाग लेते हुए सबसे पहले तो हम अपनी पार्टी की तरफ से इस बिल के समर्थन में इस बिल का समर्थन करने के लिए इस चर्चा में हिस्सा ले रहे हैं। समर्थन इसीलिए कि हम नहीं चाहते कि कल को सरकार ये कहे कि लोगों के 15 लाख काले धन के बीच में और सरकार के बीच में विपक्ष खड़ा है। मगर हम समर्थन करने के साथ साथ सरकार को जरूर सचेतना चाहते हैं। कुछ संशय हमारे इस बिल को लेके। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैम, वी डू नॉट थिंक दैट दिस बिल is going to be effective enough to get back substantial black money into the country as is promised. That's our first fear about this bill. Secondly, we feel that it has no provision whatsoever to ensure that the black money that we get out back in our country is actually sent to the accounts of the citizens, as was the poll promise of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Thirdly, we fear that this bill will lead to a lot of hardships on many tax-paying, law-abiding, innocent, unsuspecting residents and citizens of our country. And I will, during the course of my deliberation, talk about in detail each one of these points. The political background of it, ma'am. On November 6, 2014, Honorable Finance Minister in Rajya Sabha said that let's not make black money a NDA versus UPA issue. In fact, he carried on that speech in the House that we saw. We debated GST recently when he beseeched upon the House to rise above the partisan lines and to support GST in unison. Now, if I may ask, while he's asking us to rise above the partisan lines, who's doing the politicking? Which party opposed the GST when they were in opposition and now they are championing it? Which party opposed the civil nuclear deal while they were in opposition? Now they are championing it. Which party opposed insurance while they were in opposition? Now they are championing it. And which party, in fact, one bill that they supported while they were in opposition was land acquisition bill, our land acquisition bill. Now they are bringing their own version and opposing our version. So his argument seems to be, you rise above the partisan political lines, you rise above the partisan lines and support our bills, while we will leave no opportunity to sink beneath the partisan opportunism and political opportunism and score our points. Who made it a NDA versus UPA issue? ये इसमें कोई संशय नहीं कि इसमें कोई किसी बात को संदेह नहीं होना चाहिए। पूरे देश में, पूरी दुनिया में काला धन को लेके एक बहुत चिंता है, सबके दिमाग में एक बड़ा मुद्दा है। हम भी चाहते हैं, सारा देश चाहता है कि काला धन वापस आए। मगर इस इशू को वित्त मंत्री ने तो कह दिया राज्यसभा में, जब उनसे पूछा गया 15 लाख का क्या हुआ, कि इसको यूपीए और एनडीए का इशू ना देखा जाए। मगर इस मुद्दे को राजनीतिक मुद्दा का रूप किसने दिया? बहुत लंबे समय से भारतीय जनता पार्टी, मैं कहना चाहता हूं, मार्च 31, 2009, सबसे पहले अडवाणी जी, आदरणीय अडवाणी जी बैठे हैं, हम उनकी बहुत इज्जत करते हैं। उन्होंने उड़ीसा में कहा, खरियार उड़ीसा के अंदर, मार्च 31, 2009, पिछले आम चुनाव के समय, कि 25 लाख करोड़ काला धन, उनकी जानकारी है कि 25 लाख करोड़ काला धन विदेशों के अंदर है। और अगर वापस आ गया, उन्होंने कहा, तो 4 करोड़ हर गांव के बाटे आएगा, हर गांव के बाटे 4 करोड़। ये 2009 के चुनाव से पहले कहा गया। उसके बाद अडवाणी जी की 38 दिन की जनचेतना यात्रा हुई। 2011 में लोकसभा के अंदर, इसी लोकसभा के अंदर एडजर्नमेंट मोशन भी आया। हम उस एडजर्नमेंट मोशन की मैं अडवाणी जी की भी बात सुनी, प्रणब मुखर्जी जी का भी जवाब हमने उस एडजर्नमेंट मोशन में सुना। बीजेपी ने एक टैक्स फोर्स बनाई, गुरुमूर्ति जी जो हमारे एनएसए आजकल, अजीत डोवल जी वो उसके अंदर सदस्य थे, महेश जेठमलानी जी, उन्होंने एस्टिमेट लगाया अपने काले धन का और कहा कि इस पे नाउ द इशू इज सेटल्ड। बीजेपी की टास्क फोर्स ने कहा इशू इज सेटल्ड, the number of amount of black money abroad is 30 lakh crore is a settled number. 500 billion US dollar is the black money it's a settled issue. भाई ये आखिरी फिगर है, मगर वो आखिरी फिगर नहीं थी, वो आखिरी फिगर नहीं थी। उसके बाद भी और बात बढ़ाई। राजनाथ सिंह जी ने 17 अप्रैल 2013 में लखनऊ में राजनाथ सिंह जी ने कहा कि 150 दिन के अंदर काला धन वापस ले जाएंगे। बाबा रामदेव जी ने कहा कि 500 लाख करोड़ काला धन अगस्त 9 में। आखिर में इन सब बातों का निष्कर्ष मोदी जी ने निकाला और मोदी जी ने कांकेर में 7 नवंबर 2013 कहा कि भाई इतना काला धन है कि वापस आ गया तो हर के बाटे में 15-20 लाख, 15 से लेकर 20 लाख हर के बाटे में आ जाएगा। ये निष्कर्ष उन्होंने निकाला। मगर कितना काला धन? अब 1 साल से इनकी सरकार है। पिछले हफ्ते राज्यसभा में जवाब एक सवाल, एक सवाल आया राज्यसभा के अंदर, उसका जवाब वित्त मंत्रालय की तरफ से मिला। और क्या जवाब मिला? 1 साल के बाद जब आप लोगों ने अलग अलग ये सारी बात, इतने लाख करोड़ काला धन है, इतने लाख करोड़ काला धन है, 1 साल की सरकार के बाद इस सरकार से जवाब आया है, देयर इज नो ऑफिशियल एस्टिमेशन रिगार्डिंग द अमाउंट ऑफ ब्लैक मनी जनरेटेड इन द कंट्री। दिस इज अ रिटन स्टेटमेंट। 5 मई 2015 को पिछले हफ्ते राज्यसभा में वित्त मंत्रालय की तरफ से ये एक स्टेटमेंट आई कि अभी कोई अनुमान ही नहीं है। और उसके साथ साथ आई कि 3 गवर्नमेंट की एजेंसीज, NIPFB, नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ पब्लिक फाइनेंस एंड पॉलिसी, नेशनल काउंसिल ऑफ अप्लाइड इकोनॉमिक रिसर्च और नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट की 3 इन एजेंसीज को, गवर्नमेंट के जो थिंक टैंक हैं, इनको लगाया गया है। 2012 से लगाया गया, यानी कि यूपीए ने लगाया था। आपकी सरकार ने जवाब दिया कि 2012 से 3 थिंक टैंक को लगाया गया है काला धन का आकलन करने, और उनकी रिपोर्ट आ गई है, और उनकी रिपोर्ट सरकार के पास आ गई है, और उस रिपोर्ट को सरकार दिखवा रही है। और दिखवाने के बाद कहेगी, दिखवाने की क्या बात है? मैं मांग करना चाहता हूं अपने दल की तरफ से, आप लोगों ने पिछले इतने वर्ष से कभी 25 लाख करोड़ कहा, कभी 30 लाख करोड़ कहा, कभी 500 लाख करोड़ कहा, कभी 15 लाख हर आदमी के बाटे कहा, कभी 4 करोड़ हर गांव के बाटे कहा। आज आपके पास रिपोर्ट आ गई है, जो जानकारी हमने जिसकी शुरुआत करी थी, जब उस सरकारी आंकड़ा आपके पास आ गया है, उसको सार्वजनिक करिए रिपोर्ट को। उसको दिखवाने की क्या बात है? सार्वजनिक करने की मांग आज हम करना चाहते हैं आपसे। जहां तक इस बिल की बात है, डिटेल as far as this bill is concerned, now let me spend a little bit of time in analyzing in detail this particular bill. Now let me go straight to the heart of the matter. The heart of this bill is the stringent punitive actions. The heart of this bill is the stringent punitive action that it seeks to impose upon all those who have black money, all those who are unearthed as having black money. But it begs a point. How is this different from the Income Tax Act of 1961? The finance minister just explained how this is the first time so many things are happening in this bill. Is it so? Ma'am, if we look at the statute by statute of this bill, article by article, clause by clause, actually it is not that different from the income tax in certain senses. Now the Income Tax Act of, if I am wrong anywhere, I can be corrected. Income Tax Act of 1961 already requires Indian tax residents to disclose their global incomes. Indian income as well as foreign income is already there in the statutes, and pay due tax on it. That's number one. How much tax? The rate of tax is same for both categories, domestic as well as foreign income. The rate of tax is same, 30%, and this bill also proposes 30%. So there is no difference. Requirement to mandatory disclose foreign assets, as in foreign bank accounts, etc., has been added to the income tax return from 2013. So already income tax for the last 2-3 years under the UPA this was added. You already have to disclose your foreign bank accounts. So there is nothing new in that provision as well. Now, what about the stringent punitive and stringent penal action that this bill, and the media has been talking about and hailing is a certain new thing which has come up. Now, concealment of taxable income, if I may inform the House, including any foreign income. So concealment of taxable income, including any foreign income, already under our statutes is punishable with penalties of 300% of the tax evaded, which Finance Minister just said, and rigorous imprisonment of up to 7 years if the tax evaded is more than 25 lakhs. So already it's there in the statutes. Already 7 years rigorous imprisonment is there. What this bill seeks to do is increase the rigorous imprisonment from 7 years to 10 years. From 7 years to, I agree with that. And also make the offences non-compoundable. I agree with that. These are two minor things that the bill seeks to do. while these statutes have been in order since 1975, and still we are talking about the quantum of black money, if the 7-year rigorous imprisonment has not been able to deter the black money holders in dealing with black money, how will 10-year imprisonment deter them is a question that you should be asking. The second provision of this bill, the second provision of the bill relates to the Prevention of Money Laundering Act and FEMA. Now, there are two important changes. First, concealment of foreign incomes are going to be made predicate offence under Money Laundering Act. And second, FEMA will be amended. Basically, these two amendments in the Money Laundering, Prevention of Money Laundering Act and FEMA would give powers to the tax authorities to attach the foreign assets as well as domestic assets. Already, now again, I would say, already in the Income Tax Act also confers wide powers to attach Indian assets of a person. Now what you will be able to do additionally would be to attach the foreign assets. That power is being given in this bill. But overall what you have done, you have taken the relevant portions of Income Tax Act which are already in the statutes and the Money Laundering Act, put them together, and you are packaging them as this brand new thing which you are going to come up. But there is another aspect to this bill that I want to point out, which I would say is open to devious usage. That is amnesty. That is the aspect about 1-year window. You are not calling it amnesty, but it's a 1-year window period where the tax is 60%. Now, ma'am, we all know the history of amnesty schemes in India. Since independence, there have been 12 amnesty schemes, starting from 1949 to the last one in 1997, ma'am, which you would recall when you were also in Lok Sabha, the voluntary disclosure of income scheme, which was hailed as the very last opportunity by the tax authorities, and which also was, incidentally, the most successful one as claimed by the Income Tax Department. In that scheme, ma'am, about 4.5 lakh disclosures or declarations took place. Only 0.4% of those were belonging to category of 1 crore and above. So what really happened, and later on CAG looked at it, because BJP believes all the CAG reports are absolutely sacrosanct, so they must listen to this. CAG looked at the VDIS 1997, which was the last amnesty scheme, and CAG concluded that that scheme was nothing but that was totally misused for making declarations in Benami names. They're making declarations. I'm quoting from the CAG. So the CAG said the scheme was totally misused for making declarations in Benami name. Now you have taken out some statutes from Income Tax and Money Laundering Act, put them together in a law, and asserted a clause of amnesty, which will again be open for how are you going to stop this. So I would send out a warning to the Finance Ministry that they should be providing adequate safeguards against any misuse of this provision. There is one very grave concern which I have shared with my Honourable Finance Minister recently as well. There is one very grave concern. That relates to the definition of SSC. Now, what is going to happen is, you have defined the SSC as all Indian residents, minus the non-residents as defined from Section 3, Clause 6 of Income Tax Act. Basically, what that means is, and Section 6, Clause 6 of Income Tax Act is a person said to be not ordinary resident in India in any previous year if such person is an individual who has been non-resident in India in 9 out of 10 previous years. So what really this means is that any person who's either Indian student studying abroad, who's gone abroad in the last 8 years, Indian student studying abroad, working professional. I know the Minister of State of Finance himself, he has lived abroad many years, so he would relate to some of those students. Of course, when they go there, the Indian students go abroad, they have to open their accounts. If Indian working professionals, they work abroad, they have to open their account, they acquire certain assets. Now what they will be required to do is every year, they will have to file their income tax in India, declare those assets, maintain those tax papers, maintain the salary trail and everything, and give that proper account to the tax authorities, failing to do which, they are liable for a heavy penal action and they are liable for prosecution for 10-year imprisonment. What kind of... my heart goes out to those people in Madison Square who was chanting Modi, Modi. My heart goes out to those. Imagine, there was a person in Madison Square who was chanting Modi, Modi. He wants to come back to India. Some NRI there, he gets patriotic and he wants to come back to India. Now, if he comes back to India, Honorable Finance Minister, he will be, first thing that he will be needed to do, as per your law, is to declare all his assets, everything. Not only that, not only does he need to declare all the assets, the section 211 of the current bill says, he states that a foreign asset, even if disclosed in income tax return, will be treated as undisclosed foreign asset by tax officer if he is not satisfied by the source of investment of that assessment provided by the assessee. And not only that, ma'am, adding to this, the tax, if the tax officer imposes penalty, assessee has no provision to seek stay and has to pay the amount. So basically, this gives unbridled power to the tax authorities to harass these Indian students who have gone to study abroad, the Indian professionals who are working abroad and have stayed there for last 8 years, and all the NRI community who, if come back, where it says, and the NRI comes back, he has to provide a proper money trail of all the assets that he has acquired over so many years abroad. And if the money, the paper trail is not properly verified by the tax authorities, imagine what will happen to that NRI. So please think about those people who are chanting Modi Modi in Madison Square. I don't think they are going to take this bill in the right spirit. And I do think, and lessons can be learned from FATCA. Sir, you talked about FATCA in one of your speeches. I was reading some of your speeches. FATCA, ma'am, is a similar law which was enacted by United States 2 years back. Quite similar, but it is little more stringent in some of the statutes on the FFIs, the financial institutions, because it levies 30% tax on the financial institutions also. We have not done that. I think we should consider doing that. But one of the biggest drawbacks of FATCA, which has come back to haunt US, is in last year, ma'am, and I must inform the August House, in last year, in the history of United States, maximum number of US citizens who are abroad gave up the US passport. Because of imposition because FATCA was brought in. Now we have imported some of the same provisions. We have an extremely huge number of Indian diaspora. Ma'am, I have also studied abroad, so I can be at liberty to talk about them. Now we don't want our students who are studying abroad in the best universities in the world to need to come back, or we don't want to close the door on NRIs who want to give up their lives there and come back and contribute towards India. Ma'am, you know the two things. So basically, this is some of the things about but the two things that were needed to be addressed most if you are serious about getting the black money. These things relate to getting the information, as the finance minister knows, getting the information from all the different countries, and securing the evidence. These are, without getting the right information and securing the evidence, though you won't be able to do much by increasing the deterrent and increasing the threat of 10 years imprisonment, etc. This won't work. First you have to get the information. Ma'am, to get the information, few years back, ma'am, the only way to get information, the only principle that used to work was the principle of dual criminality. If the other country also thinks that it's a criminal money, drug trafficking or terrorist money, and India also thought so, we could exchange the information. Recently, in the last 7-8 years, world over, the concern for the black money, we have seen a new regime developing world over, which is exchange of tax information based on tax treaties. Based on tax treaties. Ma'am, now tax treaties have been amended. New tax treaties have been given, the double taxation agreements that we have with various countries, DTAA, double taxation avoidance agreements, they have been negotiated, and a new clause has been added, which is clause 28, which allows for us to get information from these countries, including the list that we got from Switzerland or the list we got from Liechtenstein, were result of those new double taxation avoidance agreements containing that clause which allows for us to get information. And new taxation exchange agreements have also been formulated. Based on this is the new protocol. In this, it's based on request. If we make requests, we provide certain evidence, they give us the information. Let me inform, and I would urge the finance minister to tell the truth to the nation, that out of 130 tax treaties which provide for us to get information, 103 of these were negotiated during the UPA time. That was what we were doing. 130 tax treaties that India has today, 103 of these were negotiated by the UPA. 17 had been negotiated or were there tax treaties which have been prevalent even before the UPA. I must ask you, how many tax treaties have you been able to negotiate with the countries? We negotiated a tax treaty with Switzerland, with Bahamas, all the tax havens. We were able to do that. How many tax treaties around the world have you been able to negotiate with? Because this is the information. Unless we get the information, ma'am, Now, looking into the future, ma'am, looking in the future, next phase of information exchange is the automatic information exchange. Now, at the moment, we are, we have to make a request, provide evidence. In future, in 2000, starting from 2017, the world wants to see a regime in which automatically the countries will be exchanging certain information. For this, let me also inform, for this, UPA government and India at that point of time played a significant role when we became one of the first signatories to the multilateral convention. Yes. One of the first signatories to the multilateral convention, the Convention on Mutual Administrative and Tax Matters in 2012. This is a very important convention, ma'am. This convention, which is being championed by both OECD and G20, we were the first country. We were the first country who raised the voice in G20 back in 2010 at Cannes, when Dr. Manmohan Singh said G20 countries should take a lead in agreeing to automatic exchange of tax-related information with each other, irrespective of artificial distinctions such as present or past, in the era to end the bank secrecy all over the world. So that is what Dr. Manmohan Singh, that was what our commitment was. Okay. And that's where the world is headed. And we led the world. At the time of the UPA, India was leading the world, and it was recognized as leading the world in that direction. What the current government has done as far as getting the tax information and securing the evidence and investigation is concerned, we created Directorate of Criminal Investigation in CBDT. It was the UPA in 2012. We created the Directorate. And what have you done? If I can have the attention of Honorable Finance Minister. Enforcement Directorate, Director Rajan Katoch, on May 1, in your presence, what did he say? When May 1 is the enforcement day, ma'am. Yes. Ma'am, I'm just concluding. Ma'am, I'm just concluding.
Don't take names.
May 1 is the enforcement day.
Not here.
Ma'am, Enforcement Directorate said the single biggest challenge for the agency, agency which will be responsible for dealing with this particular act also, is dealing with black money probe cases. Is the large number of vacancies and the steep decline in staff members during last 1 year. So on one hand, you're giving us this promise of bringing back the black money. On the other hand, ED, there's steep decline in staff members in the ED, and ED has been pleading with you. Please give us some staff members so that we can probe on cases. And they are pleading to ma'am, in conclusion, in summation, ma'am, I'm moved towards summation. BJP had no option but to bring this bill. Why I say that? Now they are championing this bill. Ma'am, because as a signatory to the 2012 multilateral convention, ma'am, you know what the multilateral convention 2012, which we have signed, which signed in the UPA at the UPA time. The multilateral convention basically entails, as OECD official puts it, the effectiveness of automatic exchange of tax information will come only when standard is translated into domestic legislations. For that, all signatories will have to adhere and bring similar domestic legislations to stick to the 2017 time frame. So by signing multilateral convention, we gave a promise to the international community that we will be bringing about a domestic legislation. So you had to bring this bill. It was a bill for which UPA signed, we signed, India signed and gave a promise to the international community. You had no option but to bring this. But what did you do? It is a missed opportunity. Because what you did, you took some provisions out of the Income Tax Act. You took some provisions out of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act and the FEMA. You packaged them together. As this new bill, you increase the sentence from 7 years to 10 years to stamp this bill as if this is a new piece of legislation which only bears your stamp. And we warn you that this will not lead to any fruitful results for the country, and this will not help us bring back the black money. It will only increase hardships. What you have done is only going to increase hardships for the unsuspecting, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens of the world. Ma'am, आखिर में conclude करते समय मैं कहूँगा कि हम आज इस बिल के समर्थन में खड़े हुए हैं. बहुत लोगों ने कहा कि काले धन पे, क्योंकि अमित शाह जी ने एक टीवी इंटरव्यू में कहा कि वो जुमला था.
आप सबके नाम ले रहे हो, वो ठीक नहीं है. जो लोग नहीं है,
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के अध्यक्ष ने कहा कि जुमला था. तो हमको लगा कि भाई कि मगर मैम, दिमाग तो कहता है वो ठीक कह रहे थे, मगर दिल कहता है मोदी जी ठीक कह रहे थे. वो जुमला नहीं था मैम, वो मोदी जी की जुबान थी। 15 लाख आएंगे ऐसा दिमाग कहता, दिल नहीं मान रहा, दिमाग तो कह रहा है अमित शाह जी ने जो कहा कि वो जुमला था वही ठीक है। मगर मैम ऐसा लगता है मैम, मैम बहुत हो गई मन की बात, मैम बहुत होगी मन की बात, अब करिए कुछ धन की बात। ये कहते हुए और वित्त मंत्री जी को शुभकामनाएं देते हुए कि ये ब्लैक मनी हमारे देश का काला धन वापस लेके आए और हम सबके खाते में, जो आपने 100 दिन की बात की थी, हम आपको 5 साल भी देने को तैयार हैं। 5 साल आपको जनता ने दिए, काला धन वापस आए, ऐसी बात कहते हुए हम आपका इस बिल का समर्थन करते हैं।